Go ahead, Eleni. I'm sorry.
So we're going to talk a little bit about Dr. Estella's career, and then her background and everything. And then we're going to also talk about, which is really I'm looking forward to. I know me and Demetra are both really looking forward to relationship advice questions from you. Yay.
All right, great. So I guess I'll kick it off. So again,
Yes.
thank you, Doctor, for taking the time to Skype in with us. So we first, I guess, laid eyes on you because you are the mother of Mauricio and mother-in-law to Kyle Richards, Beverly Hills Housewives on Bravo. And my sister and I, when we were watching you, we loved the fact that you were an entrepreneur, you were an educated woman, and we just fell in love with you. And we researched. We saw that you do charity work, and you have so many things going on. So, how about you walk us through? You came to America. Did you always have a dream of being a doctor, a therapist, and was it something that just came naturally to you? Tell us about that.
Well, I basically always have a dream that besides being married, besides being having a career as a mother and having a career as a wife, I wanted to also have my own profession because as you know,
Uh-oh, we're having a little technical difficulties.
children is a
Okay,
very
there we
good example for their children. And
go. Okay, hold on. We just had a little internet problem.
uh-oh, we lost you?
Let's see. Doctor?
Yes, I guess we lost each
Okay.
other for a
Yeah,
moment.
how about you call me back because I don't have a screen here. So why don't you call me back, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So right now we're just live
Going live.
streaming.
There we go.
Okay, there we are. Here you are.
Okay.
There's your beautiful face. Okay,
Thank
so we're here live with Dr. Estella. And okay, so she's basically just walking through, like we said, we first saw her. She's Mauricio's mother and mother in law to Kyle Richards. And we love the fact that she was she is an entrepreneur. She's
Right.
an educated woman. She's powerful. I called her before. She's like a lioness.
Yeah, it totally is. I get that vibe from her.
So tell us about how you came here in your dream and if you always had a dream to become a doctor and to help people. So that's
Well,
where we left off.
basically, one of the things that I was telling you before we got cut off is that I was married very young. I got married at the age of 18, and actually, Mauricio was born when I was 19, almost 20.
Wow.
I still wanted to have a career, and I decided to put that on hold until my children started elementary school. I was already in the United States when I decided to go back to school. So I finished my high school in Mexico City and I moved to the United States when Mauricio was 6 years old and Sharon, my daughter, was 4 years old. And then I decided to go back to school. I thought that it was very, very important to me because besides being a mother and besides being a wife, I think it is very important for women to have interests of their own, whatever it is that they decide to do, to be independent, to have goals, to have dreams, and to become interesting, and to set up a good example for the family. So once my children were at school, I decided to go back to the university. I joined the USC. I'm a Trojan, yay!
Yeah.
That's where I got, my BA, and I started my basically multiple careers at the same time. I continue my career as a mother, which is one of the most important ones, as a wife, and developing my interest in psychology.
Beautiful. That's
Wow.
that's absolutely amazing. So I saw when you started your schooling, you literally, you started getting your degree and you worked all your way up to get your doctorate. Um, then later on, you ended up getting a sex therapy license.
Yes, well, one of it was very interesting because one of the things that happened that at the beginning of my career, before I was a licensed psychologist, I was a doctor, but I was a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I was at the same time doing my internship to get my license as well as a psychologist. But at the same time, an opportunity came to me where I had for a year in 1987 a
I don't know what's going on
Of
here.
that
Oh, there you
show that I was there on a weekly basis. It was live on KSI TV, Channel 18.
go. Right.
I had so many questions regarding eating disorders, and then so it happened that I started having so many questions about sexology, and also noticing that some people, when they have also eating disorders, they also have sexual disorders.
Mm.
So I decided to go back, and I went to UCLA. They had a wonderful sexology program, and I took a year postdoctoral in sexology, where I got my certification as a sexologist in 1990, and that's how that career started.
Beautiful.
Wow.
That's amazing. So, now you've been practicing for many years, and so now, what do you do now? Now you are you see patients and you have an office, and
Yes, I have
now
my own private practice, and also I like to service the Latin community. So I go to a clinic to in Bell Gardens. I used to go to other clinics in other areas as well, because I like to give a little bit of myself, to the people that they cannot pay much.
right.
So I give my service twice a month at a clinic called JWCH in Bell Gardens, where I offer my services to people who are on medical or they cannot pay for their services. That's besides having my profession in private practice. I also have a segment on Channel 22 News, which is a wonderful news program. Now it's also Mundo Fox every Friday night, and it's called Sex and You. It's a segment called Sex and You that it comes out Friday nights at 10 p.m.
Dr. Stella, I just have to tell you, and I'm listening to you, and you're absolutely amazing, and there's so much I want to talk to you. I love your accent.
I know.
I love the
Thank
way
you.
you talk.
Yes, I
At one
know.
point, I had a little bit of a concern, and I don't mind, laughing at myself. Actually,
Oh, no, no.
Oh
my
no.
daughter-in-law and my daughter and my son, sometimes, they tease me because of my accent or because I have certain words that I have trouble with. But you know what? I have fun with
No,
it, and
you
it is what I am.
yeah, no,
You
you
rock it
Everybody
well.
yeah,
should go
you
for it.
rock it well. I think you come across just such like a
Yeah.
lady and so sophisticated.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, like, I love your accent. Talking to
Seriously.
you, it's beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
love it so much. So, I want to talk about a lot of different things, and I think one of the first things is you talked about giving back to the community, and I am such a big supporter on charity events and giving back. I think it's excellent karma, and it feels good to give, and that's how
Absolutely.
you keep what you have, and you just grow so much from it from so many different levels and aspects. And there's a few things that I'd like to talk about. The first thing is I know that you are involved with Safety Harbor Kids.
Yes.
So can you tell us
It's
about
a
how you started
beautiful
that?
organization.
Yes.
Safety Harbor Kids is a nonprofit organization that is there for the purpose of helping orphans or foster kids or homeless children, through education. And basically, the interesting thing is that this organization was founded by John Williams, who was parentless himself. So he didn't have parents.
Oh.
And he started this organization, which I think it is beautiful. The organization is approved by more than 15 counties and private homes throughout Los Angeles, and is helping already over 2,000 kids,
Wow.
foster kids, and through education. During the events, we try to motivate the children, help with personal growth, career development, music and art. And we also, during this event, we want to have the goal to create mentor relationships between the community and the children. That means that people can go to safetyharborkids.org and mentor a child for a year so that they can have education. That would cost
Oh.
$350 for the whole year.
Wow.
Wow.
And that means so much for a kid. Who are they're the youth, they're the future of our country, they're the future of the world. There's also, individual memberships that is only $50 a year. That also is money that goes, everything goes towards the kids. And all of the members and the people that were there, we volunteer our time, to help the kids become better persons.
Oh,
Absolutely. That's beautiful. And
that's inspiring.
that Eleni
Yeah,
loves like us all here, but my sister loves to give back.
I do.
Yeah.
Especially
Wonderful. It's
especially
good
to
karma.
kids.
Besides,
Yeah.
I will always keep in my heart the people that gave to me, and I want to give back. Life is about hopefully being there for each other. We will have so much a better world. Actually, one of the movies that touched me tremendously was Pay It Forward.
Yes.
And I think if we were all to do that, a little bit of that, we could help so much
Yeah, I
and
think
have a
it's really
better world.
fulfilling
Right.
to give back and to help people. It does something inside of you that you don't get anywhere else, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
So,
absolutely. So,
Absolutely.
Safety Harbor Kids is definitely wonderful. So you can go to safetyharborkids.org, right, Dr. Stella? And
Exactly.
for
And because it was
$350 for the
you can
whole
don't
year, you
check
can
out our
sponsor a child.
events that are coming. We're going to have on June 9th an event at the Will Rogers Polo Field from 1 to 5 p.m. It's going to be $95, the event, and it's going to be very entertaining. We can watch polo, which is the sports of the kings.
Yeah.
So that would be wonderful, and hopefully, a lot of people get motivated and get like their heart touched to help kids.
So speaking of touching hearts, another you just set it up for me. Another beautiful, you're an entrepreneur as well as a doctor and a philanthropist. You also started a new dating website,
Yes.
and I actually checked it out. I love it so much. It looks like so much fun, and I think I'm going to join it as soon as we.
I think we both should join it.
I know it's called the
Absolutely
Hotspot.
wonderful.
So tell us all about it, doctor, because I think it's, a lot of people, what's your thought briefly? And again, I want you to talk about Hotspot, but what's your thought on this now new generation, I guess, of all meeting and connecting online? Do you think that there is a big success in this versus
Well,
meeting
I
somebody?
think that, especially in the United States, where there's so, the families and everybody's apart, I think that connecting to someone that you know more who the person is in a way, because you get information, it would be important, I have to say, for people who sign, we're going to try to check them so that they tell the truth. There is no sense in lying or putting a picture that is not you, because sooner or later you're going to find out.
Right.
Correct.
So if you come forward and you are who you are, it is a good place. Actually, I have to tell you that I did join before forming this website. When I became single, I did date through meeting people online, and I met wonderful people. But I wish, one of the things that I wish is that I had somebody, that I had a mentor, that I had a guide, somebody that could guide me, somebody that I could talk to, or this happened or that happened in this date. And, that's what makes us different. We have, basically so far 7 people, 7 celebrities, and we're looking into more people joining, that we could be there guiding the people, and they can talk to us. They will be able to chat with us, via Skype or via our podcast
Right.
and email. And we can guide them. We can talk to them. We can, guide them through the process. And this is, that's why I became so excited about hotspots for dates, because it's the new hotspot. It's the hotspot for dating.
I love.
Basically,
I,
is the website.
I love when you talk about it because you move your
Yeah,
shoulders
yeah.
a little and you say hot spot for
Vivacious.
Yes, it's a very hotspot.
so that's great. So so they could check it out for Hotspot 4, the number 4 dates.com, and that's a new and hot, up and coming. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. So, Doctor, we thank you again for taking some time out to talk to us. And we had we reached out, we sent an email to a few of our people on our mailing list, and we said we're having world-renowned, famous,
Right.
educated, doctor coming on who specializes in relationship and sex, and we wanted to find out a general idea of what the viewers wanted to see, and we had a wide range of them. So I think the first thing that a lot of people asked is a general idea is that if you're dating somebody, how long should you wait to have sex with them? Whether it's the male point of view or female point of view, if the male really likes her, does he wait? The female,
Right.
does she wait?
Because you hear so many different things. If you feel
Well,
it, if you feel the
basically,
chemistry.
we have. I'm sorry that
No,
I
go. No,
interrupted you.
no, no,
Did I?
go. I want to
Okay,
hear what you have to
basically, what
say.
I wanted to tell you is that women and men, we're wired totally different. Basically, men are very visual. And men can easily get involved sexually with a woman and never think about her again.
Right.
That's what they do. They have a good time. But if men want to have a long-term relationship with a woman, they're gonna take a look whether the woman was giving too soon into the sexual relationship. And I think that is the same for women. If your interest is into developing a long-term relationship, a marriage, to be with someone, it takes time to know each other. It's going to vary for different people. It's going to be different, but definitely, you know, I wouldn't even, consider start touching each other or anything like that before 10 dates go by, at least, because you're in the process of getting to know each other and getting to know the personalities, not only the chemistry. Even though the desire may be there, I think it is important to hold on. Also, we have to take into consideration that since the caveman, men are hunters. They like to feel that they're not going to get their prey very easily.
Right.
And,
It's true.
kind of in a way, nowadays with the sex revolution, we women are the same. So if somebody is too easy, we don't like them anymore. We need to give time, and when it feels right that we really have gotten to know each other as a person, that the relationship has value, maybe it is okay then, to start getting involved sexually. To hold it for too long is not good. The balance is what is important.
Balance. Okay.
Okay.
So I guess we kind of skipped ahead because one of the other questions is, okay, so you go on a date, whether you meet the person on a dating website or you happen to see them at school, you go out on a date. It's a wonderful date. Who, in your opinion, doctor, and I think a lot of females sometimes question this, should they wait for the man to reach out to them to initiate, I
I
guess, see the second date? Or can the girl say, I had a really great time, let's see each other
Right.
again? Is that being too desperate? Like, what's a good balance? You said balance. Like, what's a good balance?
Well, I'm old fashioned. I think that always the men should do the first approach. We women, we can be sexy. It's important to give like a hint, to be attractive, and to smile. But at the end, the man has to make the first call and do the first approach. It's very important, not to make mistakes. I went into something else, but a lot of mistakes that women make is that they start talking too soon, they give too much of themselves, they start complaining about their prior relationship, they start talking about health issues. If they do that, that's a killer
Right.
of a relationship.
Health
So wait
issues.
until to go back, wait until the man takes the first approach, and give time to get to know each other, and make sure that you don't make the mistakes that a lot of people do, in giving too much too soon.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, that's I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say Dr. Estella that you go on the date, you have a good date, you're dating for a little bit, but let's say it just doesn't work out, you end up breaking up. What is your opinion? And I know, of course, it depends if you're married for 10
Yeah.
years versus dating for 10 weeks.
Right.
What's how long the average or a good guideline to know when you can move on and start dating someone? I mean, do you need that time to heal to be able to, move forward
Right.
in a relationship?
So you don't bring like the baggage from the past relationship into a new one. Like how long
Well,
do you think?
absolutely. That's, you just mentioned, something very, very important, the baggage from the past relationship. I think that in we as individuals, when we go into a relationship, rather than being, how can I explain it? In a relationship, there's always going to be three people, basically, because there is you, me, and the relationship. So basically, it's he, she, and the relationship is the third person, or she, and the relationship, he, and the relationship. So there's always going to be three identities. Once we form a relationship, we stop that. We have to wait until we develop again the sense of identity as a single person, and we're not going to bring the baggage. We are going to close the wounds, the healing, whatever is it that is, so that we don't go rushing into a new relationship to fill in the hole, or start talking and complaining about our power relationship. We really need to let go and be aware to be centered and not with the presence of the absence. We need to be centered in the here and now
I
so
like
that we
that.
can go new into a new relationship.
I like that.
That's great.
That's a good quote.
That is a good
I'm
quote.
gonna tweet that later.
Yeah, that's my own quote.
I'll tag you in the tweet. Don't worry.
Actually, I have to tell you something. That's something that I want to share because that's something that my oldest brother, may he rest in peace, helped me understand. He suffered with multiple sclerosis for 35 years, but he was always with a smile on his face. And one of the things that he taught me was that you never you accept your reality in the present time and not to be with the presence of the absence or the presence of what it was, which is what he always did. He was never complaining and longing for when he was healthy. He accepted his illness and he was always living life to its fullest.
Wow.
So that gets applied to anything that we do in life, in any kind of relationships. It's important to be centered and to be oneself.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is. I
So,
like that.
Dr. Stella, you have accomplished so much, in your beautiful life that you have so far, and there's so much to look forward to with a lot of your new business ventures and giving back to charity. What's something that you hope to accomplish, or maybe visit a place in the world that you haven't yet? What can we expect from you in the future?
This is a place in the world that I haven't seen. Wow. You know, I did, the other day I was talking to a nephew of mine who I doubt that I would love to visit the places that he has visited. I doubt that I would be able to do it at my age because, he visits places like the jungle and the Amazons and,
Wow.
all of these type of survival places. And so I'm going to have to visit them vicariously through his trips. But in terms of myself, I would love to go to South America. I would love to go to the Amazons. The only place in South America that I've been at is in Venezuela. And I've been in Canada, Europe, the Middle East. I would love to go to Argentina. I would love to visit, some of these places, Colombia. I happen to have family in Colombia, actually, and I would love to visit them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
So
all plan a girls' trip
I
to
know.
Colombia, Amazons, everywhere.
So, Doctor,
Yeah, whatever you have a chance,
well, we
have fun there.
we have a villa in Greece in a two private beaches. So you're more than welcome to come and visit us there too. The offer's out there.
Yes.
So you also behind you the beautiful mural that you have. You said that you painted, and you said that quite often a lot of people think that it's real, but it is in fact a mural. What
Yeah.
other activities or hobbies do you spend time doing to either rejuvenate yourself or, like you said, find balance, in between your working and doing charity work and just your everyday business? What are some things that you like to do?
Well, as you can see, I love to sculpt and paint. I'm not good at painting people, but yes, I'm good with the scenery. And I guess that when I was a kid, my mother didn't let me paint the walls, so I still wanted to do that. So I found a way of painting the walls and be creative about it and do murals. I love photography, and I have done photography since I was in Mexico. I used to have my own business at the time called Luminous, and I used to do children photography. And about 10 years ago, I started doing photography here, but I do basically architectural photography, and I happen to be the photography for the agency, which is my son's business,
Wow.
real estate, and I do the photography of his states, and I definitely enjoy doing so. I think that I'm very good at it, and that's another kind of profession that I have on the side that balances my life with the artistic side of being out there and being active and carrying stuff and taking pictures and then being able to edit and do all of the work in the computer because I love computers and the technology about them.
Beautiful. Well, again, thank you, Dr. Estella, for taking some time to talk to us. Again, please let the viewers know, definitely your website, and you want you to take it away.
Definitely. My website, you can go to the new hotspot, which is the dating website called www.hotspot number 4 dates.com. And you can also go to www.drestella at drstellasnyder.com. And if you have any questions, you can email me in the contact, and I would be happy to answer your questions, whether it's at the Hotspot for Dates website or at my own personal website.
Uh,
And I've been having like a wonderful time talking to all of you. And I also would like to tell everybody, to go and buy my daughter-in-law's book, Life is Not a Reality Show by Kyle Richards, which is wonderful. I learned a lot about dating at her book as well.
Beautiful. We'll definitely have to check it out. Well, thank you
yes.
again, Doctor. Please send our regards to your family. You look absolutely stunning. Today and this morning, even without makeup, we had a
Yes.
logistics and she looked just
Yeah, we
glowing.
did. Huh? What about that? Yeah. One thing that I forgot to tell you and to tell, the woman out there is that, it is very important to look good. And now you just remind me, because in the morning you saw me without makeup. And, that's one important thing that I wanted to tell people, that once they're in the relationship, not to let go of
Right.
taking care of
I
themselves,
believe in that.
dressing nicely, looking
Mhm.
good. And it is very important to do that. And one of the things that I do is to balance that, and I use my personal shopper. Her name is Doris Dorenbaum, and you can find her at uh, Twitter at Doris Dorenbaum, at Mami Dodo. And basically, she has a beautiful, very affordable line of clothing called Worth.
Wow.
And I
Oh,
just
wow.
wanted to tell that as well to
We're
people,
gonna
to
have to
Absolutely.
make
check
it
that out
available
also.
to the whole world as well.
We'll definitely have to check that out. Well, thank you again, Dr. Estella, for your time, for your knowledge,
Yeah.
for connecting
We're gonna
with
have to do
us.
this again. That was fun.
Yeah, that was definitely fun. Thank you again so much, and we hope you
Thank you.
enjoy the
Thank
rest of the
you.
evening.
Thank you so much. You too.
All right, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.